Today's episode of Aura's Gist is titled The Power of Tracking Daily Wins. Stop feeling like a failure, even when you're succeeding. From overwhelmed to in control, how this practice helped me escape the cycle of never feeling done. Remember the last time you collapsed into bed, exhausted, wondering if you'd actually accomplished anything meaningful that day? This was me most of last year. Last year, I found myself being constantly behind between pursuing a PhD, creating content, and nurturing family relationships. No matter how much I accomplished, I never felt like enough. My to-do list was always growing, and instead of feeling motivated, I felt like I was stuck in an endless cycle of catching up. But then, I discovered something transformative, a gentle 5-minute daily practice that changed everything. This isn't just another productivity hack. It's about creating space to recognize and celebrate our progress in all areas of life. Let me share how shifting from tracking tasks to celebrating wins helped me find balance, joy, and genuine growth. The inspiration for writing my daily wins came from the book The Gap and the Game by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. The core idea? Most of us measure progress by looking at the gap between where we are and where we want to be. This approach often leaves us feeling frustrated. But when we measure progress by looking at how far we've come, the gain, we recognize our growth, build momentum, and stay motivated. One way to do this is to think back over the past year or 5 years and see where you were back then compared to where you are right now and what you have accomplished. This concept led me to develop a simple but powerful practice, recording my daily wins. By doing so, I can reflect on my progress and fuel my motivation for the future. This practice makes it easier to recognize small but meaningful achievements, and when accumulated over time, they paint a picture of steady growth. How I track my daily wins. Dr. Hardy's advice is to take 5 minutes every evening to write down 3 wins and 3 potential wins for the next day. Later in this video, I will show you my template, which you can feel free to copy and use. To give you a clearer roadmap, here's what we're going to cover. 1. What I learned. Key takeaways from practicing daily wins. 2. How to do it, plus a template. A practical guide on setting up your own system. 3. Results. What changed for me after 30 days of this practice. 4. How it shaped my self-perception. 5. Next steps. Should I continue? How will I refine the process? What I learned from daily tracking. At first, I wasn't sure how much of a difference this practice would make, but over time, I noticed several key benefits. I can clearly track my progress. When I review my list in the evening, I'm sometimes motivated to push to complete certain tasks. I look forward to giving myself a virtual pat on the back for doing what I set out to do. I don't have to think too hard the next day about what I want to accomplish. I've already written them down. While the idea is to write down just 3 wins, I sometimes write more when I feel inspired. On days when I'm exhausted, I write only 3 wins and may or may not list next day wins. How I implemented the practice. To make this easy and accessible, I created a WhatsApp group with me, myself, and I, just for myself, called Daily Wins. This method allowed me to record my wins and next day plans in a format that I could easily review. Some people might prefer to write by hand, which is recommended because it reduces distractions. However, I found that there are benefits to having it digitally. For example, being able to copy and paste it into ChatGPT or Claude AI for analysis. On particularly busy or tiring days, I even recorded my wins as a voice note, which made the habit easier to maintain. Template. You see on the screen here the template I used. Feel free to copy it. So it just says daily wins, the date, and then 1, 2, 3 to represent the daily wins for that day. And then under that, I've got next day wins, and then 1, 2, 3, signaling the wins I'm expecting to achieve the next day. So 30 days of daily wins, the results. After tracking my wins for 30 days, here's what I discovered. I remember what I did on different days more clearly. I have more wins than I initially realized. It's easy to turn this into a to-do list exercise, but I've adapted it to what works best for me. The next day wins help me start my day with focus and intention. Looking back, I can identify trends and recurring wins, as well as things that have fallen by the wayside. How to start tracking your daily wins in 5 minutes a day. Number 1, pick your tracking method. Choose a format that works best for you. You can use a small notebook or journal, a notes app on your phone, a private WhatsApp or Telegram group, a voice recording if you prefer speaking over writing. 2, set a reminder. Pick a time each evening or at the end of your workday to reflect on what you've accomplished. Set an alarm or calendar reminder to build consistency. 3, write down 3 wins. Keep it simple. Think of 3 wins you did well today, no matter how small. Some examples are sent an important email, completed a workout, had a good conversation with a friend. 4, plan 3 wins for tomorrow. Set 3 achievable goals for the next day. This will give you clarity and focus when you wake up. Some examples for me are record a voiceover audition, spend 30 minutes on PhD research, call a family member. 5, review weekly or monthly. At the end of the week or month, look back at your wins. This will help you see your progress and identify patterns in your achievements. Here's a bonus tip. Make it fun. Use stickers or emojis for extra motivation. Those work for me. Share wins with a friend for accountability, and experiment with different formats until you find what works best for you. Major wins that stood out for me in this whole process. As I reviewed my progress, certain accomplishments stood out. Key personal achievements: completing 2 audiobook recordings in that month, establishing a daily habit of exercise, Bible reading, and prayer, gaining clarity on my next steps in life and work. On the professional and academic lane, I have posting more videos on my personal and joint YouTube channels, organizing and executing a virtual meet and greet, which actually went very well. And 3, which was probably most significant for me, making significant progress in my PhD, including finalizing my research topics. So I have something to run with, which I'm really, really excited about. On the personal development side, I practiced drawing. I was inspired by a channel called Productive Pete, and I just started drawing by hand, just stick figures to illustrate different things, and it was kind of fun. Then I also started journaling more frequently, so just thinking through some things, particularly when I find myself stuck, I actually started writing down more and just thinking by writing, and it's made a huge difference. On the family and social life, I've explored personal financial literacy by watching videos on financial literacy, so courses on that. Then I spent more quality time with my spouse and other friends and family. I've also hosted a lot of friends and family in this period, a lot more than I have in a while. And then also, I've been supporting newcomers in moving to the country and settling in, which has been a nice thing. Now here's how this whole experience shaped my self-perception. Tracking my daily wins gave me a greater sense of control and confidence. Instead of feeling like I was constantly falling short, I began to see myself as someone who follows through on commitments and makes steady progress. I now identify with the mindset of growth, resilience, and discipline, rather than feeling overwhelmed by everything left undone. This experience reinforced the truth that what you measure, you improve. By simply paying attention to my wins, I naturally started to optimize my days for meaningful accomplishments. I found myself prioritizing important tasks, focusing on progress rather than perfection, and feeling a sense of accomplishment, even in the small moments. And here's some encouragement for you. Try tracking your wins for the next 30 days. If you've ever felt stuck or unmotivated, I encourage you to try tracking your wins for 30 days. It doesn't have to be complex. Just take a few minutes each evening to jot down things you've accomplished. With time, you may find yourself more motivated, more self-aware, and more in tune with your progress. So, the bigger picture. Why this matters. Reflecting on January, I feel a profound shift from where I was last year. Last year, I was overwhelmed, constantly feeling like I was behind. But now, I have a system that helps me see and appreciate my progress. I feel more balanced, less anxious, and much more intentional about my work and life. The practice of tracking my daily wins has inspired me to keep pushing towards my goals for the year. My biggest focus remains making progress on my PhD, but I also want to grow my joint YouTube channel with my husband, maintain a consistent posting schedule for my personal YouTube channel, and continue prioritizing in-person connections while balancing my work commitments. What's next? Recording my daily wins has been invaluable for me. I definitely plan to continue this practice. It's a productivity hack that's actually worth it for me. Looking ahead, I plan to keep working on my PhD. My big goal is to have my confirmation statement submitted before the deadline and to finish the write-up within the calendar year. Very ambitious, I know. Then I plan to continue writing out ideas and video scripts before actually going ahead to create the videos, as I find this process has been very valuable for me. I want to maintain the habit of recording daily wins with a focus on my top 3 priorities for each day. Then I'll evaluate my progress at the end of each month and adjust my approach as needed. By staying consistent with this practice, I look forward to seeing how much I've grown by the end of the year. Whether you're looking to boost motivation, track progress, or gain clarity in your life, I highly recommend giving this simple yet powerful habit a try. Keep tracking your daily wins. This has been an episode of RS Gist, read to you by the author, Araba. I write stories to do with entrepreneurship, just my journey in life, my PhD journey as well, and just things that I find that have been motivating for me and encouraging for me, and I'm hoping they'll have the same effect on you. I do have a favor to ask. If you've watched this all the way through and you think it's provided you value, go ahead and share it with somebody. Ooh, also in the comments, go ahead and put a heart emoji there, so I know you've gotten this far in the video. I really appreciate you. And check out some other videos that are gonna appear here and here. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.